Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Cam, and if you're into all things makeup, hair care, and skincare, then definitely make sure that you join the Cam fam by hitting that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit the bell too so you don't miss any videos. Alright, today's video is going to be 2 looks with 1 palette, and I'm going to be using the Voss Violet Sunset palette. So the color story's got some like beigey browns, a little bit of like the salmon color, and a slight violet color. I feel like the palette's not like a super innovative color story, but it does actually have a lot of really nice neutrals, and then that pop of like salmon and pop of like pinky violet if you do want to play with color but want to stick to more neutral looks. So this is one of the looks that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, and it's a very soft half cut crease. I'm trying to kind of like make the violet sunset here on my eyes. And in the other look, I'm playing with a lot of the neutrals and did kind of like a brown halo eye. So I would also be aware with this palette, there's a lot of like fallout and kickback. My like filming desk right now is covered in powder from this palette, and my base makeup like on my cheeks looked really decent earlier today, and I've just had to brush fallout off my cheeks so many times that it's all messed up now. So you might want to either do your eyes first or tap off the brush a lot so that you don't get powder all over your face. And because the shades are very powdery, they're very easy to blend, but I did find it a little bit difficult to get like a lot of pigment. I had to do a lot of packing. So this may be a palette where if you want that real like punch of color, that you like reverse blend on wet concealer or something like that, because I really had to like pack and hope for not a lot of fallout to like really make the colors as vivid as I wanted them to be. So if you want to see how to do some cute looks with this palette, then just keep watching. For the first look, I'm thinking of doing maybe like a bronzy peachy halo eye. I feel like I haven't done a halo eye in the longest time, so I really love like brown smoky halo eyes, and this palette has some great colors to do that with. So I think that's the first look I'm going to do. So I'm going to go into Desert Sand first with my M441 brush. This is like the perfect transition color in this palette, and I'm just going to start running that in the crease. So because I'm doing a halo eye, I'm taking it pretty close to the inner corner here, and I'm trying to keep the shape very rounded, so I'm not like winging it out in the outer corner or anything like that, just to like mimic and set the tone for that halo eye. I know it feels like a little weird sometimes to bring the transition shade in here, but it's really going to help blend everything out. Now once I've got that laid down in the crease in kind of like this crescent shape, I'm going to go in with the shade Sunset, and I'm using an M433 for this. And now what I'm going to do with this shade is actually start packing it in the outer corner first. Kind of like on the lid, just right underneath the crease. And then I'm also going to take a little bit right here in the inner corner. And then I'm just taking a little bit just to connect those in the crease. These shades are like really beautiful and pigmented, but they are like a little bit too powdery for my liking. So while they're really easy to blend, I do feel like sometimes it's hard to keep the pigmentation without really like packing the shadows on there. So I'm just gonna like repack it after I've blended it out a little bit. And I almost don't want to like touch it and mess with it too much because I'm gonna lose that pigment. Then I'm just picking up the first shade a little bit just to blend out the very, very edges. I'm making sure I like don't touch any of this going on in the middle of the eye. Now I definitely want to like deepen up that inner and outer corner a little more just to provide more contrast for the center shade. So I think I'm going to mix Amber Sky and Dusk on an M506 brush. And I'm going to start packing that on in the outer corner again. I would definitely tap off my brush a lot with these shades. They actually have quite a bit of fallout. And then again, just like trace that color a little bit through the crease. And then I'm going back in with the previous brush to blend that out. Ooh, that got really smoky and dark really fast. Okay, let's brighten things up. So for the center of the lid, I'm gonna take the color Peach on an M124 brush. And so this is gonna provide that like perfect pop of like brightness to like really make this like a super nice spotlight eye. So first, I'm just applying it to the very center of the lid, like that. And then just with a little bit on my brush, I'm gonna start blending it out along the edges of that halo eye. And also like a little bit into the crease and even maybe slightly above it. Then I'm just going back and packing more on in the center to really make this color pop. I may also end up going back in with those darkest colors just on the lid and reapply them a little bit, make sure we haven't lost them, and blend them into the center. It might take a little bit of like going back and forth to get like a nice blended line. Then for the lower lash line, I'm just taking a mix of Amber Sky and Dusk again on an M165 brush. I'm just gonna press that really closely to the lash line. And then I'm taking an E36 with the color Sunset and blending that out. And then lastly, I'm going in with Vanilla on, this is a Sigma E56 brush, and I'm just gonna pop some of that on the brow bone and also on the inner corner. Okay, now I'm just gonna go throw on a pair of lashes and I'll be right back. All right, so here's the completed first look. So for look number 2, I really want to play with like these violet tones over here. So I'm just gonna grab the same M441 brush that I used for my crease last time, and I'm just going into Desert Sand again. So this time I'm gonna do a bit more of a traditional crease shape where I can like wing it out a little bit. And I think I'm gonna do like a very, very subtle half cut crease. So I do want the inner corner to have a little bit of this transition shade as well. So next I'm going in with a different M433 than I used for the last look. And I'm gonna use the color Lilac and pack it on like the outer corner and also bring it into the crease as well. Again, these shades look like a little scary in the pan, but they really do blend out very, very easily. I'm having to do almost no blending. But I do wish they were a little bit more pigmented because it's very hard to just like not blend the color away. And so now that I have that down, I do want to deepen it up a little bit. I do wish it was more pigmented and a little richer and deeper of a color. So I'm going to go into Dusk by itself on an M506. And then just like really ever so slightly, I'm applying this in the outer corner here. And that's almost like changing the shade into like a deeper purple. It's not really going to lean too brown. What I might even do is go back in with Lilac and just kind of like layer them together. And I'm also just running Dusk a little bit into the crease just to help like frame the eye better. And now I'm just making sure that outer corner is blended. Okay, so now what I want to do is carve out the inner half of my crease a little bit, but I don't want to make it very like stark and a very harsh line. So I'm taking some of my ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is the shade 4. And so now I'm taking an M224 brush, and I'm just going to start carving out my crease. Now again, I want this to be very subtle, so I'm almost like taking off some of the concealer right there, because I really don't want a harsh line. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want like a really nice clean base for the shadows that are gonna go on in this area. And also I have hooded eyes, so sometimes it's really hard to see like a gradient of lid shadows on hooded eyes. If you don't have hooded eyes or don't feel comfortable doing like a half cut crease like this, then you can definitely skip this step. But I think it's gonna help make the shadows show the way that I want them to. This is actually really easy because we're not doing like a really harsh line, so you can be a little messy with this and just really try to blur that line. What I'm doing is kind of like stamping it and dragging it a little bit as well. That way we just have like this nice open canvas to work with. So for the outer part of the lid, to really blend this gradient, I'm going in with the color Violet Sunset on an M166 brush. This is just a really big fluffy shader brush because I just really want to blend this color here in the outer part of the lid. And it's going to help blend everything seamlessly into the outer corner. So next I'm taking an M421 brush and I'm gonna go into the color Champagne. And so this is what I'm gonna pack on the majority of the rest of the lid, leaving just like maybe where my lashes start blank. This is such a pretty like golden, slightly coppery shade. And this combo is just really gonna create like a pretty sunset vibe. And then I'm just gonna blend the two colors together. And I'm kind of gonna go back and forth with both shades to get a really nice blend. And then I'm taking Vanilla on that same Sigma E56 brush, and I'm just applying that in the inner corner. kind of blending it by the tear duct. I also might just bring that champagne shade a little bit over. So now for the lower lash line, I'm just gonna go into Dusk again, stamp that along the lash line, and I'm taking an M506 into Lilac and just blending that out with that. Now I'm just gonna go apply some eyeliner very thinly across the top lash line, pop some lashes on, and I'll be right back. So I just went ahead and popped on my Ardell 782 lashes for a more winged out look. And so here's the second look all done. Okay, my loves, that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash that like button down below for me because it really helps my small channel grow with the YouTube algorithm. And let me know down below in the comments which one of these two looks you would want to try. So right about now, you're probably thinking what other videos you should watch. So you might like one of these two. And then click on my face to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, my loves, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah.